G'day, guys. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the AUSNZ Community Podcast, episode 17. And wow, what a cracking episode we have for you. Just after the release of the top 50 episode, uh, so many people, being messaging and everything like that. So I think we got a good feedback from that show. But this episode, yeah, it's a special episode. We got Soulis coming on in a little while, and can't wait to talk to him. And we've also got Maury in today as well. And of course, our three usual hosts. We got Pete, Alpha, and Eva joining us as well. So, g'day, guys. How's everybody?
Very good, very good. Thank you very much. How are you
Hey,
today, GT?
Everything's good, mate. Now you've had a couple of little bit of issues during the week, Pete, and
Oh, yeah, I have, but I'll be all right. I've just had a bit of car issues, a bit of mower issues, but it's all good.
yeah, that's that's just temporarily issues. It's not something that's gonna be a permanent thing, but obviously not quite as bad as our other co-host. We're not gonna probably get into that, but that's up to you, Eva, if you wanna say anything. But yeah,
like the
yeah.
last couple of weeks, I've just been coming to terms with the fact that I can't control some things that are happening in other states, and I've just got to grin and bear it. But yeah, I appreciate the people that have reached out to me and passed on their regards and all that sort of stuff. I really appreciate it. Special shout out to DeBell for just being, I don't know how to say it, like someone that young who's got a really, really good chip on his shoulder. Um, and yeah, really meant a lot to get some messages from him about stuff. Probably,
He is a great young lad, isn't he? He messages me all the time too, and just asks how my day is and how am I going. And he's a delight to have a friend. He's very I couldn't
yeah,
I can't speak
yeah,
highly enough of him. He's a great young lad.
yeah. So I really appreciated messages and all that sort of stuff. So thank you. I am going to get back into editing and all that sort of stuff. So episode 16 and 17, as you would have heard, would have been bashed out quite quickly together, even though we recorded 16 a while ago now. Yeah, other than that, look forward to just getting on with my life and getting on with playing HCR2 and doing more stuff on this podcast and really enjoying what I've got to do around me. So very cool.
Yep,
Very cool.
beautiful, mate. Um, yeah, nah, we'll move on from everything else. It's yeah, we'll introduce Maury to the show, mate. How's it going?
Really good. Really good. Looking forward to this one. Obviously having someone on that has done similar things to me, it'll be actually a really good chat.
Yeah, you guys are pretty good friends as well. You talk to each other
Well,
in
not
the
actually.
Fingersoft server, so
We have a little bit, but it's actually this podcast will probably be the first or second real chat we've had, because we sort of came at it like from different sides, so we didn't actually, our paths didn't really cross at all when we were developing our bots.
yeah. So Solus didn't really know too much about the daily bot, and you really didn't know much about Cyber Bill.
No, yeah, that's right. And even his earlier bot, I didn't know much about it other than he had created it, and that was it.
Well, there you go. Well, it'd be great to have a chat to him later on. But yeah, sure, we got lots of questions to ask him. Yeah, especially about bot creation and so forth. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And how's your week? Last couple of weeks, Maury, mate? You've been busy?
Just busy, just getting back into the swing of things, getting out, doing stuff, that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. How's you do?
Just busy.
As you do. So before we get on to some other subjects later on, I want to bring up the team event tournament that's been going on recently in the last couple of weeks. We have some AUSNZ reputation in the team event tournament at the moment. We've got Swiss Cheese is in the tournament still. He's got both his accounts, his main and his alt. They are through to the round of 32. Storm is still in the competition as well, and Koi from Discord is still there as well. I think everybody else has been knocked out, as far as I'm aware. We did have Mad Max. I think we had you, Alpha. We had a few others. Yeah, sorry, Alpha. You were back, mate. You were AFK for a while. I'll get to you in a sec. I'll introduce you in a sec. But we had a few others, Mad Max and so forth. So the team event tournament is really starting to kick off. It's in its second season now. I think it's in the second tournament, and it's getting popular. I myself might have a crack next tournament. I don't think I'll get that far because just looking at some of the scores in the top 64, to get through to the next round, you need at least 37k, at least 37k. That's bare minimum. If you don't get 37k, you more than likely will get knocked out of the tournament. I have with me at the moment. I've got a little spreadsheet that Swiss Cheese has sent me. So currently we've got some matchups in the round of 32. We've got some very interesting matchups. We've got Racer XP against Koi, which is currently going on. We've got Fox versus CC1K from the new Chaos. We got Andy from Discord against Magic Fans. So we got Notch against Swiss Cheese. That's going to be a cracker of a match. Both fantastic team event players. I can't pick that one, to be honest. That's going to be a cracking match. Mr. Beef Eater is down the bottom there from North. He's up in a match against Super Cyan. Of course, we've got the favourites. We've got Zorro. He's still in the competition. Canyon Space is still there. He's against Taz. And then we've got Storm up against Mbao. So Mbao's he listens to the show, so shout out to him as well. The team event tournament, it's really starting to get some popularity, isn't it? It's going off good. Guys, have you heard much about it?
I've heard a bit about it, and I'm actually considering disgracing myself by joining too.
You know what? Pete,
my team event scores don't go any higher than 34k. So,
Pete, if you're going to go in at next competition, I'll go in it with you, mate. Let's see what we can do. Not very much, to be honest.
We might even get a match together.
Yeah, never know. It's it's something I'll definitely do next one. I'm pretty sure. So, Alpha, mate. Sorry we didn't introduce you before. You were AFK, but mate, welcome to the podcast. And how you been?
Yeah, thank you, JDR. I'm just fresh off a photography course today, so a bit tired.
Ooh.
Oh, very good. That's something you'd have to talk to Eva about.
I probably should.
Well, you could talk. You can DM him later. But mate, how are you going in the team event tournament? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I didn't make it through the first round, which was not surprising.
Oh, it's what though. In all seriousness, it is a very, very difficult tournament to play in. I mean, look, don't get yourself down or anything. It's just one of those. I mean, there are a lot of good team event players out there. I mean, like I said before, you got to have at least minimum in the high high 30k score range to even give yourself a chance. So, but yeah, you're enjoying it though.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty fun.
It's a good concept, isn't it? It's something that's kind of like brought a freshness about HCR2,
It's
I
something to
suppose.
bring the excitement back, I think.
It is. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I think also what they can look at doing in the future is having a look at maybe a team concept of the team event tournament. Have something to do with teams, like maybe kind of something similar to having like 3 representatives from AUSNZ, and whoever scores the best goes up against another set of 3s, and whoever has the best score goes through.
Right,
Or something like that. Yeah, something. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. I'm not really, but maybe have like a team competition would be really cool too. But yeah. Oh, by the way, you got Razor is still there from Unity. Razor is a favorite, but you got last tournament's winner. I can't pronounce the guy's name. It's it's Agalos YT. I don't know if you want to. Agulus, yes. Thanks, thank you, thank you, sir, for that. Eva, remember to wipe that one out.
I think
Okay.
leaving that.
Yeah. So Agulus, yeah, he was the winner from the previous tournament, and he's still in it. He's made the round of 32, so he's another favorite as well. So, yeah, there's some really good players. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Cheese. Cheese's ult, I think, didn't make it through, but his main is through, and he's up against Notch. Good luck there, Cheese. That's a tough matchup. And then if he wins that, he'll go through and play. Let's see, bracket. He'll play the winner of. Let me see, where is he? I think he'll play the winner of. I'll have to work it out later. I couldn't see now, but yeah, no, looks pretty good. So it's really going well for them. So, all right, let's move on. Let's get stuck into Eva's subject for this evening for the show. Eva, what do you got for us today?
Well, we talked a little bit about screen resolution last time, and I wanted to follow up on minimum requirements for for devices. I was a bit surprised actually because I've gone on to the playhcr.com feedback support, and there's a section there that says what are the minimum requirements for HCR2. Now it says devices, all Android compatible devices using Android 4.2 or above. That's Jelly Bean. That's so old it's not funny. But I then went and thought, oh, what about if you're running an iOS device? If you're running an Apple device, it will run on any iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch that's running iOS 8.1 or above. Now, in terms of iPhones, that's an iPhone from 2014. That's an iPhone 6, 2014. The battery wouldn't last that long now. So I'm not having a dig at all iPhone users or anything like that. But when it comes back to what the game's capable of being played on, from what I can understand of those two statements on their website, it's pretty much anything. And unfortunately, that means that it's being developed to run on a whole gamut of devices. So, is it worth buying the latest and greatest device? Is it worth buying something that's got lots of speed and lots of RAM? And I think the answer to that is not really. I think screen size over, processing speed and RAM for sure.
Yes. Screen size is probably the most important because, especially if you're a serious player,
Yeah.
you want to get screen size because you could see your landing spots for
Yep.
a few things like like your multi jumps and so forth. So
Yeah. Well, the idea behind the minimum requirements, like when you buy a computer game for your PC, you needed that video card, you needed that sound card, you needed that processor speed to be able to play the game at a certain frame rate. Obviously, the game and the coding, adjusts for the device it's being played on. So yeah, I think the device itself makes no difference because the game adjusts for it. But what's important is how much you can see and all the other stuff. Now, in saying that, I do notice the lag differences between my alt account and my main account. Main account's on a Galaxy Fold with lots of RAM and lots of processing speed, but it's also got a much larger resolution screen, which is obviously using more processing power to process it. So there's a slight lag, when you're pressing the accelerator and brake. But it's something that I've gotten to work around. Muscle memory has worked around it by understanding, when I have to brake, when I have to accelerate, and the slight differences are so slight that it's only because I've done something and realized playing it back to back that I've seen it. Otherwise, I would never have known. So,
yep,
you know,
yep.
saying you
Now-
need to buy the latest and greatest machine to play it is just junk.
Yep.
I
Now
think
in the graphics settings, it's got use ultra wide mode, and if you tick that, it'll have use safe areas.
Yep.
Now, I'm not entirely sure what the option is for use safe areas, but using ultra wide mode. Now, if you want to use ultra wide mode for settings for HCR2, do you need to have a big screen to use that feature?
I've played with that on the Galaxy Fold, and I see no difference on the Galaxy Fold if I play ultra wide or I play normal. Thing that I
can't see any
Galaxy
difference
Fold.
either.
Yeah, the other thing I can do on the Galaxy Fold is I can actually open the game on both the more squarer screen ratio, or I can open the game while the phone is folded and closed, and have the game, like it's very letterbox type, screen resolution. So, and even in that resolution, if I use the ultra wide mode, it makes no difference in what I physically see on the screen, because
That's interesting, isn't it?
It looks like in the ultra wide mode when I'm just doing it now, graphic settings. I've already got use ultra wide mode and use ticked, so I've got to restart it now. So X game.
I don't know. It doesn't make a difference on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I don't see too much difference when I use the option, and when I don't use the option, I can't notice the difference. Maybe that's just my old eyes. Just I don't know.
There was an event where I think it was a long jump with the bus, and you had to wait at the top of the hill for something, I can't remember, and the screen goes all the way down, so you can only just barely see the bus.
Yep.
If you had the ultra wide mode turned off, it wasn't as bad from memory. But otherwise, I see no difference at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, so even then, I'm just swapping back from one to the other. Like I've got to shut the game down when I open the screen up, otherwise it won't transition from the front screen to the back screen.
Sometimes I've been getting some lag as well when I open up HCR2 and I swipe across my vehicles. It'll just jolt a bit. It'll start jolting. And then when I go to play a cup, I can't hardly play the cup. It's just too laggy, and I get that sometimes. And then I restart it, and then I go back into it, and I shut off. I don't know if I've got any other apps running at the time, but I always check. But then I go back into it, and it's it's a little bit better. Do you guys ever get that as well?
Well, I get lag when I open. Say I've gone in to do a cup and I've hit on race, and then as I've hit race, I've hit parts to change the parts on the vehicle I'm changing. On the Fold, it's instantaneous; it just opens up. On the tab A, the tab 8 that I run my alt on, there's a 3 or 4 second lag between it actually hitting the parts menu and the parts menu actually coming up.
Yeah, right, rightio.
But that's
Yeah,
not.
see,
But that part of the game isn't any of the gameplay. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
yeah, okay.
It's not the sort of
Yeah.
thing that you'd go, oh, that's terrible, because at the end of the day, it's basically it's using the game, but it's not playing the game.
Oh, yeah, see, I don't know if it's the connection, if it's my connection or at the time, or if it's if I'm running the Wi-Fi at work or something. I don't really know. But sometimes when I log into the game, it just really is slow and it just jolts, and I can't even play like a cup, and it is just yeah, it's very frustrating sometimes, and I have to exit the game and come back in again. So yeah, it's not that great. So yeah, yeah. Pete, what about you? Do you sometimes get the lag issues?
Sometimes, but it's not really consistent with anything. I think it might be just an internet issue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe it's sometimes might be my Wi-Fi issue or something. So yeah, wow, it's an interesting issue with regards to the minimum requirements for the for your devices and what you want to use. So I mean, if you want to start another account, just go down to the local shop and just buy like a cheap El Cheapo. Even on eBay, just grab something on eBay and you start another account.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, realistically, it'll run on an iPhone 6, or probably, I reckon, my old Note. What was the one that wouldn't upgrade to version 4, version 5, version 6? I reckon my Note 2 basically wouldn't upgrade past version 5 of Android. So a Note 2 was powerful in its time, but it'll still run on that, even though it's running on a machine with 3 times the RAM and 4 times or 2 times the processing speed.
Same with the iPhone 6. I couldn't even tell you who has an iPhone 6 these days. I had an iPhone 5, but I never got the 6. But yeah, like if you want to run the game on an iPhone 6, well, I suppose.
Well,
good luck
iPhone
to you.
6 was because the iPhone 5 was tiny, it was minuscule,
it was
right?
small. Yeah,
And
it was small.
iPhone was going, oh my god, look at how great we are. We can make phones smaller. And then they turned around and went, but
bigger screen size is better.
Bigger screen size is better. So everything we told you was rubbish.
Yeah.
Thank you for buying our phones, but here's something bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's it. I've always been iPhone. I've never been Android. I went from a Motorola to an iPhone 3GS back in the day, and ever since the 3GS, I've had iPhones. So I think I had the 5, I had the 7, then I went to the iPhone 8, and then I went to what I've got now, which is the 11. So
I'm sorry, mate, but we can't be friends anymore.
yeah. I agree. I don't like you Android people. So
Android is the way of the future. Get amongst it.
Nah, can't do it. I'm very. What does Murray have? Get on the conversation, Murray. What do you?
I'm not allowed to use a phone.
Oh dear, here we go.
Well, you got no thumbs. You can't use a phone
What do
anyway.
you use? Do you use a tablet?
He uses the processor. I don't know.
He just jumps in on anyone's device, I think.
He uses the coding.
Whatever he can find.
Yeah. What are you currently using at the moment, Murray?
I've got 2 Android devices, and actually one of the things which from our last discussion, in this current team event, the moon jump. So using the moon lander, and you break it off, and you go get the fuel, and then you rise up. On my main, I've got a newer phone, which is a wider screen, but not as high. I actually lose the vehicle altogether. Like I lose the Moonlander, like it just goes out of screen. Whereas
Yeah.
So
on
do
my
I.
Alt,
Mine too.
on my Alt, the screen is a little bit wider, and I actually can still see the thrusters. And it's been really frustrating because I'm getting consistently better scores on my Alt than I am on my main because of that issue.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was like, oh, I was almost going to swap phones.
I think that's what the ultra wide mode was about. I think that's what turning off ultra wide mode helped
Yeah,
out
I
with.
might try it. I didn't realize that, and I might try turning it off and see if it squashes the screen in a bit and makes it see a bit more.
Well, we're on to a new event now, so you've missed out.
Oh, we have to.
With the Fold 2, I've been able to see the capsule the entire time that it's being controlled.
Yeah, but that thing's square, so
It's close enough.
that helps.
It's close enough.
No, great conversation, great topic to talk about because it's something that really doesn't really get discussed, does it? I mean, we all just play the game. We don't really know what know the minimum requirements, and and that makes a difference. This makes a difference in the speed and the processor, and if it's a new phone or an old phone, I suppose it doesn't make too much of a difference.
No.
I mean, obviously, speed in regards to the phone, yes. I mean, you would want to play on an iPhone 14 compared to an iPhone 6, but yeah, I mean, it definitely
Do you know something about iPhones that we don't know?
What's that?
The iPhone 14.
The iPhone 14? Yeah.
It hasn't been released yet.
No, it's coming out soon. Give it a month. It's been
more than 30 days. It must be out of date.
Yeah. yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if I'm going to upgrade or not. My contract runs out soon, so we'll have to wait and see. But
if it makes you feel any better, I'm given a iPhone for work, but I don't play any games on it. I just use it for work.
Yeah. No, fair enough. No,
You should create another alt for it.
Oh, Jesus! I knew you were going to say that.
I would get in trouble. It won't play games.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
don't do
I
that.
cannot use the work device to play games.
Yeah, don't give any HR any reasons to get you in trouble.
Yeah, it's bad enough as it
It's
is.
an iPhone. You wouldn't want to really do that anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's a 13 Pro Max, so.
Ew.
Pete, let's move on to some
Yes.
public events and some team events. Pete, what do you got for us today?
Rightio. I'll start off with public events. We had previous event was One Small Jump for Bill, which was a moon event, and that was actually quite a lot of fun. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I smashed through it as well. Like before I know it, I was already up to like 300 odd points, and I'm like, oh geez. And I was only like the first couple of I was like the first day or so. Yeah. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it's just the standard not long jump. You got to fly as far as you can.
Yeah, long. Well, technically it is long.
Yeah, it is a long jump.
It is a long jump.
I powered through it pretty quickly, and
except for track 4. Track 4, you were using Superbike.
Yes, Superbike with the overcharged turbo, fume boost, and wings. And you got to try and time the turbo and just fly up.
Yes, it is about the timing of the turbo as soon as you hit the ramp. Not the ramp, but down the bottom is where you wanted to get the turbo. Because if you got the turbo in the air after you gone on the ramp, it really is not that powerful. You want to kick in the turbo just before you leave the ramp.
Perfect.
And then it just
I was getting better results with afterburner instead of low fuel.
Were you?
With the fume boost, you wanted to kick in at the right time. That's the trick. If
Yeah,
you
no,
could,
I was
you know,
actually, yeah, I was landing on the fuel and then kicking the overcharged turbo in and getting a smoother run, which meant I was jumping a bit higher, and the afterburner allowed me to keep going a little bit higher in the air.
Blind.
Yeah, it
Mm.
makes sense. Probably not as technical too, so not as much relying on timing and things like that.
Mm.
So you don't have to wait as long for the fume to kick in.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, because you can then just go straight away. Like you can go straight away
that's
at
true.
the
You
event.
didn't have to wait for the fuel to run out. Yeah, that's correct.
And you didn't have to worry about just missing out on getting the fuel.
We had a little in-house competition with AUSNZ where we just have a few slight records, and I'll just quickly read them out, Pete, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
You don't
I
mind
don't
me
mind at all.
jumping in. So if I click on pins here, I can go straight to it. Okay, so jump one, we had our record of 660 meters, 0.94 from Swiss cheese.
Using
Swiss cheese using the bus. Yep. Now he also got the record for jump two, which was 578 meters from Swiss cheese. And then Greeny had a run of 3 records. He won jump 3 with 627 meters with the bus. He won jump 4 with 549 meters with the superbike. Jump 5 he also won, which was 639. And then Cheese got the last one on jump 6 at 616. Now, I held the record for jump 1 right up until the last day, until Cheese beat me.
That's typical public event.
Yes.
You do a 700-meter run, and then you go, oh, the time is going
Yep.
down. No one's won it. No one's won it. No one's won it. And then it
Yeah.
goes calculating
last second,
scores,
bang.
and you're in 7th place.
That's right. I had a jump record of 649 meters. Nobody was beating it until Cheese beat it at the last
Last
moment.
day.
So, yeah, last day. So well done, Cheese. So 3 wins to Cheese, 3 wins to Greeny. In
It was
that
the
little
green
record.
cheese show.
It was the green cheese. It was the green cheese show. That's right. Yeah.
Towards the end, me and Bear decided to try our luck with the scooter on, I think it was track 4. One of the ones you go through a tunnel and then collect 2 fuels and then thrust upwards at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, we were getting like 8th with the scooter. Everyone else is going the bus or the moonlander. It's pretty fun.
What? That's quite decent. Like that's pretty good.
It's got pretty good thrust on it, the scooter, when it's got low gravity.
Yep, and it's also
Yeah.
got a reasonably big fuel tank for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, not
they're
bad.
very, very, very good. That was a very enjoyable PE. So, what was the next one, Pete?
The current one is called Summer Splash, and it's the water time attack. So you can use the snowmobile, which can go on top of the water, or you can use the super diesel and just thrust your way all the way over the water.
Yeah, some people are using on a couple of tracks the super bike
Hot-
as well. The
Yep.
hot rod.
Hot rod's another one.
Yeah, hot rod. You got some people even using the rotator. I've seen the rotator being used as well.
Rotator. No
The
way.
rotator, yeah, rotator with wheelie boost, wings, and afterburner on a couple of them. So, yeah, there's interesting combinations there. I think Vereshak was using on his PE video. What was he using? He was using something as well. I can't remember. He was using a vehicle, but I can't remember
Pick a
which one off
car,
the
I'm
top of
sure
my
it
head.
would have been amazing.
But, yeah, he was killing it as usual.
He could have
yeah,
used a monowheel, and it would have been
Yeah.
first.
Well, yeah. Well, our that Aspo would have would challenge him for that one. I would say. I am enjoying this PE event. It's pretty good. I'm just using the snowmobile. I don't know about you guys, but I'm
Yes,
actually really enjoy just using the snowmobile. I don't really like to go too fancy with it, but I'm trying to get the best possible time out of the snowmobile.
I
And
just
what
figured
parts
it
are you
could
running with?
It's basically the usual parts for the snowmobile. So I'm using actually depends on what track. Most of the time I've got wings, but there's one particular straight line track where I use fuel boost, coin, and afterburner.
I reckon that straight track you should try wheelie boost.
Oh, with the snowmobile.
Yep, snowmobile with wheelie boost, coin. No, it's wheelie boost, afterburner, and fuel boost.
Okay, and you
you come
just
over
got to
those.
control.
You come
Does
over
Wheelie
those
Boost
two.
work on the water, does it?
No, only on the
No.
land.
Only on the land, and it basically you get a really good wheelie boost to start off with. You hit the water, you bounce, you come down, bounce, grab the fuel, which shoots you into the air again. You bounce on the water, and then you basically wheelie boost all the way to the finish.
You just need to control the snowmobile so it doesn't sink down into the water if you get too much power.
Yep. And then the other
That's
thing is
that's a really good tactic there.
oh look, I was doing it a while ago, and I think I managed to get I went faster one afternoon than someone in a super diesel.
Hmm.
And I was so stoked because I'm like, in your face.
That's right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes. Every now and then you get a super diesel and it just has like 2 or 3 seconds faster than everyone else right at the end.
Yep.
Last second.
Yeah.
I've actually got a
there's-
screenshot of both IO and Linus. No, Linus and Zorro basically top, being top 2 scorers with Super Diesel. And I was in 7th place on the ski. I was happy with that.
Absolutely. That's still 9 points.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fun PE event at the moment. I am still enjoying it. I haven't smashed all my points yet, but I'm about halfway. I think about 200 or so. So
Are there any
Don't know,
tracks
200.
in the current team event? I haven't actually checked.
no,
No?
there's not. No,
All right.
not maybe in the next team event, but no, not currently in the one at the moment. Speaking of team events,
Yes, that's where I was going.
I knew you were. I could read your
yes.
mind.
You sure can. All right. So previous Hot and Fast is what it was called. Track 1 was a wheelie, and you could
Are you really sure about that?
absolutely sure.
Very good. Very good.
Now there was a tactic with the Moonlander where you can put it into race mode and just pretty much cruise all your way to 5,000 and get a 10K.
Just
It basically drives itself, and there's
it
no
does, but
drag meter.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Right.
though, like I just think, what are you going to use for the moon stage? Like, I mean, in my opinion, the Moonlander is the only vehicle you could use for that moon stage to get a decent score.
Well, that's not true. See, I used the Mark II, and I got 8K because I dragged the fuel.
Okay, you did the dragging fuel tactic.
I
Yeah,
did
okay.
the dragging fuel tactic, so I got an extra couple of 100 meters by dragging the fuel.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
That's a very tricky tactic, but it was still another tactic.
Yeah,
Did
no, I went
anyone
for.
get 10K? Did anyone get 10K with anything else other than the Moonlander?
Yes. So the other tactic is the formula, with wheels, coin boost, and
No,
wings.
What Maury was saying, did anybody get 10K with the moon track other than the Moonlander?
Oh, the moon track. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not too
I
sure.
didn't see any videos with anyone getting anything beyond like 8 or 9K with anything else other than the Moonlander.
Yeah, exactly. I have to agree with that too.
And Moonlander 10K was actually pretty easy.
It was. As long as were able to see your thrusters.
Yeah,
You need
you
to
see the bloody
You need
thing.
you need to save it for that last little bit. You save it for as soon as you reach the top, then you go forward as much as possible and thrust forward, and it should get you 10k.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're talking about the wheelie option for
wheelie,
the formula. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I only use the formula for that stage. I mean, that's the only logical choice for me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I ended up doing. I also got about 4,000 with the formula. Once you get the feel for it, it goes pretty well. But as long as you have your suspension on one.
I don't know how you can go for that long. Seriously, I most times I just got to 500 and just dropped it.
Oh, I find it fun.
I just
Yeah.
can't. I just got that. I don't know. I just not that I get frustrated or don't have the time, but I'm just like, why?
Well,
Why?
I actually, in Team 3, I created a little in-house competition, see who could get the
That's
longest wheelie.
Okay, that's different. If you're doing it for a purpose, well, fair enough. If you're not doing it for a purpose, then why do it at all?
Who could get the longest wheelie? Who could get the longest long jump? So,
Yeah, okay. All right.
so far,
Very good.
I'm winning the wheelie, but only by 90 meters. We've got another one who's using the Moonlander, and yeah, he's smashing it.
And what's that player's name?
300 ZX. Big shout out to you.
Big shout out to 300 ZX.
Yes.
A fellow Nissan fan of, I'm assuming as well. So
yes, exactly right.
Yeah, I've had a couple of conversations with him. He's a good young lad.
Yes, he's awesome.
I was using the scooter for that to start with.
No, you weren't. Surely not.
No, I was, and I got a 6K run with scooter, which I was really impressed with. And I was using the formula for T2, which was the and I was getting like 8.5K on the T2. But when I realised I could use the F1 and get 10K easy, or inverted commas easy, I switched to the F1 and dropped the scooter completely.
And the next stage was the now what was everybody using for the time attack? Yeah,
time attack. I was using at the start. I was using the Mark II, but I've been told that I should use the scooter by a certain someone.
At the start. I was using the sports car, to be honest. So on my old, I was using the sports car, and I wasn't using the sports car multi jump like all the experts, but I just had fume, wings, and fuel boost on the sports car, and I was just getting what was I getting? 6.5, 7K scores. So yeah,
pretty good.
Then I switched to the scooter and I was getting 7.5, 8K scores. So scooter was a bit better.
Yeah.
What time was that for 7.5 and 8K scores?
For the scooter, I was getting about 15.5, 16 seconds.
Okay.
So about 16 and a half, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. But I was using the jump shocks for that. So the jump shocks was a little quicker. So.
Right, track 3. Long jump.
Track 3. Yeah, we all know about that one. That was pretty easy. So
and track 4, we've got the cargo track, which I was using the Mark II towards the end and getting a good 8 to 9K on that.
Yeah, Mark II. I rarely got anything above 9K here. I was always losing my cargo.
Well, if you're getting above 9, you're getting a 10K.
My best score, which actually was on my alt, was 9,999.
I saw a post. You posted it in the server, didn't you?
I can't remember if I did, but it was and it wasn't actually with the start boost. It was with just wings, thrusters, and fuel boost.
That's what I was doing. That was my combo: wings, fuel boost, and thrusters.
Yeah, but I thought I was gonna to get a better score, I had to go quicker, but actually it wasn't you were going quick enough anyway with the wings.
Correct. You just had to keep your cans. Yeah, you just really had to keep your cans, and you needed to make the thrust over onto the ramp the first time. If you got onto the ramp without losing any cans, you were going to get a good score.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the trick to that stage. It was a very good team event. I have to say, it was one of my better ones. I don't
It was
think
a
I
high
got any.
scoring.
Yeah, it was very high scoring. I don't think I got anything under 34K, to be honest. I was getting 35s and 36s. So it was
Just while we're on the subject of scores, in Team 1, I just want to give a little shout out to this guy called Steve, who's from New Zealand. According to his flag, he's got 7,500 GP, got a 39.116 score.
really in
amazing.
team 1.
Team 1.
So he beat Cheese.
He beat Cheese, he beat Greenie, he beat Fluffy.
Wow.
He
No,
topped
but
Good
the
on
Cheese
him.
actually
leaderboard.
ended up getting a higher score for that event overall. I
He
think
got
Cheese got like
38.8.
Yeah. No, 39. No, he got a 39.8, didn't he?
Not this round, no.
Oh, okay, not this round, but one of the matches he got a 39.8.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it
So
was a
that-
very high scoring team event, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just thought that's very impressive with only 7,500 GP.
Yeah, great shout out. Well done
Hmm.
to Steve. I wonder if he listens to the show. Is he in our server, in our Discord server?
I'm not too sure. I've only
Alright,
seen his name recently, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I didn't even know who this player was. Obviously, very
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going into our new team event now.
All right. The
I haven't
current
given it a
team
go
event.
yet, so
It's called Air Conditioned Comfort. So it must have been created in summer.
yes. Well, it's summer over in Finland, so I'm assuming yes.
Yes, that makes sense. Not here, it's not. There's 4 tracks and 5 vehicles. Shall we go through it, or we don't know enough about it?
Oh yeah, we can We'll run quickly through it because we're running out of time. But
Yeah, that's what I thought.
we'll quickly
All right,
go
so
through it. I mean,
first
it's got
track. First track is crashing through breaking objects gives timer bonus. Track 2 is time attack. Track 3 is a trick time attack. Perform flips to get a time bonus. And track 4 is a no fuel distance, drive as far as you can. And I believe that is in the city.
city map.
Adventure map. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's got to be an interesting combo of vehicles here. I think the
Vehicles are
Yeah.
the Mark 1, tractor, rally car, CCEV, and superbike.
Yep. Yeah. Very good. All right. Great. Excellent work there, Pete. Thanks for sharing all the
problem.
information there, mate. Okay, guys. What do you reckon? Should we get our guest in for our episode tonight? What do you
I
guys
think
reckon?
so.
This sounds good to me.
All right. So, without further ado, we got a very special guest on the show tonight. He's known throughout the HCR2 community worldwide. He's probably the other bot man himself. I mean, we've got our own bot man, of course. He's here with us, Murray, of course. But the other professional bot man himself is our bot man from Greece, the one and the only Soulis, joining us tonight. Soulis, it's an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and welcome to the AUSNZ Community Podcast, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Hi guys, thanks for having me here.
More than welcome, mate. It's a pleasure to have you on, and we know that you're a listener of the show, and we appreciate you listening as well to all the other episodes. But thanks for coming on, mate, and say hi to the boys, Eva, Murray, and Alpha. Welcome our guests to the show.
And Pete, Hey, Soulis, Eva from.
Oh yeah, sorry, Pete.
Great to have you on the show. GDR said some very nice things about you already, so I'll leave it at that.
Hi guys, hi everyone. Thanks again for having me here in the show. We finally synced our schedules and we can record this episode.
Yep.
I'm very happy about it.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Me too.
Yeah, we did have a few scheduling issues before. I mean, of course, none of it's anybody's fault. It's just we weren't able to really lock in a time. But everybody's got busy lives and everything. But it's finally here, and yeah, we can have a good chat about HCR2 and a few other things as well. So, mate, first of all, I just want to say also, if nobody knows, Soulis is alt account is in our second team. It's only a small baby account of about 5,000 GP, I think it is, but it's doing quite well, mate. You really playing very well.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah, actually, this was an old account of mine. Maybe it's 2 years old. I haven't really played on it. I created it to park a team, and I reached the 5K GP only from the chests from the team events.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I started grinding caps just this month when I joined
wow.
your second team. Yeah.
It's a very strong account because
kilometers.
yeah, it's a very strong account because you can tell by your team event scores that it's purely it's basically been upgraded purely for team events. You can tell how strong, even at 5K GP, it's a very, very strong account.
Yeah, I think I could have done better scores if I had better parts. So if I played caps and had better parts, so I can upgrade. But I think it's doing okay for now.
Yes.
Definitely, it's
As a
definitely
baby
doing
account.
good. Absolutely.
Some of us
But-
don't have that excuse with max accounts. I can't hide behind a. I could if I could do better. I could do better if I had better parts. Yeah, I can't.
Well, sorry, mate, but you don't need to do better. You're doing pretty good already.
Exactly.
I could still do better.
Oh, jeez.
Souls, mate, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself? Just tell the viewer, the listeners, where you're from, what city you're in, and everything, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and some life outside of HCR2, and yeah, a few things about yourself, mate.
Okay, so I'm Greek. I live in Greece. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. I have two children. I live in Thessaloniki. I grew up in Germany. This is something not everybody knows, actually. I lived there for 10 years. Then I came back to Greece to study, and I stayed here. And I work as an IT manager, so I have an IT background.
I knew it.
Yeah.
What gave it away? Seriously.
Maybe the professionalism of his bots.
Yeah, thank you for that.
How did you find time to build the first bot with 2 kids, married, and then work? Where'd you find the time?
Okay, you find time to, if you have a hobby, and the programming is also a hobby of mine. So I spend a couple hours late nights just coding pieces, small pieces from here and there. And now it grew, obviously, after like 1 year and a half, I think, since the bot is live. So that's it.
Very impressive bot as well. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
That's high praise coming from the bot man himself, Soulis. So I mean, that's like, yeah, it's very high praise. So,
Thanks for that, Maury.
so you said that you grew up in Germany. So you're German. You're born in Germany. You say?
No, I was born in Greece, and we moved. My family and I moved to Germany when I was 7, and I stayed there for 10 years. I finished school, and I came back to Greece to study. I finished my studies, and then I found a job, and I stayed here.
You could speak fluent German and so forth, and
not fluent, okay, but I can understand everything, and I speak, yeah, but not fluent. It's not like my second language or my mother language.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's like I mean, you're Greek through and through, obviously. So there's no doubt when Germany play Greece in football, who you would support. You'd support Greece, obviously.
Yes.
Can't. Yeah, I can't let those Germans win in the football, mate. Gotta, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, very good. We'll make the rounds now. Eva, Pete, Murray, Alpha, guys. Let's. Do you guys want to ask any questions for Soulis? Let's go for it.
Just real quick. Did you want to tell us about your hill climb journey?
Okay, so actually, I'm not sure when I started playing HCR2, but I think I installed it the first time before like 4 or 5 years, maybe, and I think I deleted it then, and without syncing the account, and I installed it again like before maybe 3 years or so.
So was this HillClimb 1?
No, I started with HillClimb 2, actually.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of racing games like Need for Speed and so on. So I found this little game, physics game, as Reese says, in the Play Store, and I got hooked on it. It was really fun to play, and it still is.
Yes, as we all have. We're all hooked. It's a great little game.
I don't think it's I think it is advertised as a kids game, but I haven't met so many kids in the community, to be honest.
So you how many? So you're playing before Teams was introduced?
No.
All right. So you joined after Teams. So what was one of the first teams that you joined? Did you join a Greek team, or did you start off, in one of the top teams, or how did you start off with your team career?
No, my first teams were just some random foreign teams. I don't even remember either the name or the country, and I wasn't very good in team events. I didn't watch YouTube. I didn't know that the game was so popular that there were YouTube channels and so on. And so I didn't have Discord, so I wasn't in a community, and my scores were like 10K at best. And after a while, I searched for Greek teams, and then I joined Argo. It was they had at the moment, I think, maybe 2 or 3 teams, and I joined the lowest team. And this is where the actual journey began.
Mm.
Then I joined Discord, I started watching YouTube videos and so on, and became better in team events.
Yeah, right.
So
And so,
when you joined Discord, so I mean, that's a similar journey to mine. At what point did you decide to bring in the bot?
Oh, that I started coding the bot like 1.5 years ago. I didn't have any knowledge about Discord bots or anything, and we didn't use any bots in my first Greek team, so I wasn't aware of that bot existed. Only when I left that bot and joined, when I left the team, the Greek team, and joined TNO, that is where I was introduced to bots like Dino and Carbot and so on. And then I saw EOS from EOI, the bot, the team event bot, with the score table command, and I wanted to do something similar. So I searched the internet and found a website that calculated the team event scores, and I reverse engineered it, and this is where the bot began. So the bot began actually with a score calculate command, so to say. That was the first command.
Oh, that's where I got stuck. I couldn't reverse. I couldn't reverse engineer it. I almost had it, but not quite. So I was going to write it. I was going to do exactly the same thing. Write a bot to do exactly the same thing. But then you came out, and I was like, oh, I don't need to do it now. Great.
Okay. Yeah, actually, the code was in the website.
Oh, was it? No.
Not publicly available, but in the source code of the website.
Yeah.
So it was quite easy to reverse engineer it.
I didn't even think of that. I don't do much web development, so I didn't even think of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's it about the bot. It started small with only one command, and then I asked teammates about new commands, what they want to see, and someone suggested the public event command, which lets you know when the next track is available.
So how many
And,
servers is it on now?
About 500.
Oh,
It's in 494 at the moment.
that's pretty awesome.
I reckon I could be on more service than that.
For sure, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Good one, mate. Bro.
That's not going to happen, mate. No, that's pretty impressive. That must have been like when it went from the first server to the next server, and then like it just went to a whole bunch more. At what point were you going, oh my god, this is actually something that people are going to use?
I still wonder, to be honest. I still wonder. I don't know, when the bot reached like 75 or 80 servers. Actually, Discord has a limit. Your bot can join till 100 servers, then you have to verify it, and the verification process is awful. It's very difficult. You have to provide your ID. You have to provide several other personal information. You have to wait, and they do all kind of tests on your bot. Yeah, and
so it's worse than actually creating the bot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And actually, at first, I got a message from Discord that the bot won't be verified ever
Oh no!
because how did they say that it had an inorganic growth? Which I don't know what that means, and they wouldn't give any feedback on that. But finally, they said that I created fake servers and joined the bot so that it increased the number of servers, so that it finally got verified. So actually, the verification process is nothing else, just to let the bot join more servers than 100. It doesn't mean anything that it is verified. It doesn't mean that the code is secure. It doesn't mean that your bot is code. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had to worry about that because my bot's very specialized in what it does, and you actually need a bit more knowledge than just running a couple of commands. So, because you need spreadsheet knowledge as well. So yeah, mine's only on about 20 servers.
Yeah, that's the daily bot you're talking about, Murray.
Yeah, the daily bot.
Yep. Okay.
But it's also on the FS server.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. If you search for FSGP bot,
Okay.
you'll see it there. It's
Are you sure?
kindly left it there. Yeah,
Are you sure that the bot is there?
Unless he's kicked it recently.
Not sure now because
getting rid of the competition.
He kicked all the bots when he finally when Kerberos joined the other bot, but he for sure kicked the moderation bots. I'm not sure about yours.
Hang on, I'll tell you.
While Maury's finding that out, Soulis, do you want to talk to us a little bit about Cyberbill? Cyberbill is a very popular bot in the Fingersoft server. I'm sure all the listeners want to know just how strong and powerful Cyberbill is.
What do you want to know? I can't talk about all the parts.
Don't talk too much about it because, especially if you're under an NDNA. But you can't muck around with Cyberbill because he doesn't take any crap. He'll destroy you if necessarily.
Yes, he can do that. okay, not destroy you. The worst he can do manually, automatically. I mean, the bot is mute you.
Yeah, it was a very strict bot when he first joined the Fingersoft server because I remember that I had some emojis with my team event advertisement, and he wouldn't accept the advertisement because I was using too many emojis. And
I remember.
He didn't like me very much. I don't think he liked many other people using too much emojis at the time. But I think that's all fixed now.
I remember this bug. This bug was actually due to the flags, because the flags are translated to 2 characters, actually, in the background.
Yes.
So if you have a rule that you allow 5 emojis and you type 3 flags, then you have a problem, because it translates to 6 characters.
Okay.
And it is recognized as 6 emojis. But I think we got around that bug, or we increased the number of emojis you can type on a message. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you increased it because I can put a few more in my team advertisement that I do for AUSNZ. But I think you could put a few more now in there. But before, you couldn't even put like 1 in. It was quite funny. It was very strict. No, it looks like Bill's doing a good job, and mate, you should be very proud. He's certainly cleaned up the server because the Fingersoft server there for a while was getting attacked daily. It was getting Gorilla Gang, I think. This person called Gorilla Gang was attacking the server, as I remember, and there's been hardly any more raids since Cyber Bill's joined, so he's taken care of the problem.
Yeah, the good thing about the duration bot is that if you have one bot doing actually what you want, then you won't have a problem. I mean, it's difficult to configure multiple bots doing what you want, because then every bot is interfering with the other bots.
Yeah.
And then creates like a chaos on your server.
Yeah, so I mean, Cyber Bill was pretty much taking care of all those raids that were happening. So nobody can raid the Fingersoft server anymore. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know about anybody. Okay.
Yeah, well,
You
mean,
can test it if you want.
no. I don't want to test it because Reese will ban my ass, so I don't want to do that.
Shall we get into some questions?
How did Maury go first? Did he find
Yeah,
out?
no, actually, like unless the name's been changed, but yeah, it looks like it's off. I haven't checked the logs because I'm not on my computer, so I can't check the logs to see what servers it's connected to. But it's yeah, it doesn't look like it's on there. So maybe Reese did kick it.
Yeah, I think there is only one bot in the FS server. This is why I asked you if you're sure.
Yeah, no, I know he did kick all of the other ones, and the FSGP bot was still there. But then I haven't looked since, so I couldn't,
I dare say he will bring it back soon when the Fingersoft GP4 comes out later. Maybe, who knows? Let's wait and see.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Let's probably get on to some questions. Alpha, you haven't really said too much to Soulis, mate. Go for your life. Mate.
Oh yes, I do have a question here from Rexu, and it is, hey, do you like cheese?
Oh, good God. I don't know why you wanted to ask him that question. Out of all the questions, oh dear.
I wanted to ask that one.
Okay, I don't want to answer it. No, of course I like cheese. Yeah.
Do you like cheese or do you like our Swiss cheese?
The player.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference. Well, I mean, Swiss cheese is. It depends what Swiss cheese we're talking about. We're talking about the Kiwi Thunderbolt Swiss cheese who scores 30.
The number one player in
the number one player in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah.
Ah, okay. The player. I like both.
Fair enough.
I like to see the one playing, and I like to eat the other.
Very good. I have a question from Moxie from
From TNK.
from the New Chaos. They're called the New Chaos. Moxie is a fan of the podcast, so shout out to you, Moxie. What is your favorite part about living in Greece?
Oh, I would say the weather.
I see Greece's weather is very similar to Australian weather, is it? It's like when the summertime it's nice and hot, very humid, and it's like beach weather, isn't it?
Yes, we have like 40 degrees Celsius in the summer, and a bit of humidity, yeah.
Very, very similar to Australian weather, well, especially up north in the tropics, in Darwin and northern Queensland. It gets very hot and very tropical up there. So I'd probably say it's different type though of heat, but yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, for sure, it's different. Yeah, I mean, even in If we compare the hot weather from Germany and Greece, it's completely different.
Yeah. Have you been to Australia before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't.
It's on. We'll have to put you on that bucket list, mate, and you have to come over and spend some time out here with the family one day.
Yeah,
Depends
that
on
would
what
be
part of
great.
Australia. If you like heat, go to the north. If you like the cold, go to the south.
Okay, then we go to the north. Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with the weather. I like both. I prefer
Okay.
cold, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, Melbourne's your
Yeah.
place then. Melbourne, it's
Well,
cold
it
here.
depends when you come. If you come over summer, then it's pretty warm everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose between very cold and very warm, I would choose very cold.
Okay. Yeah, well, you can come over in the winter. We got we still get some nice wintry days here, and it's not too cold, but like I said, depends where you go in Australia, I guess. So, I mean, if you still go to the middle of Australia during winter or go to Darwin, they still get 30 degrees. You know, it's like a summer day. They don't really have a winter, especially in the out where Ayers Rock is and Alice Springs. So, yeah. Eva, go for a question, mate.
Yeah, well, I must say a big shout out to Jordan. He specifically asked about what was the inspiration for creating Soulis, but we've already answered that, so I just figured I'd give him a shout out and just say thanks for the question. But we've already answered that. So Blip has actually asked a few questions. I'm going to pick a couple. I'm not going to ask them all because I think we've kind of covered a bit of them. But he's asked a couple of questions, so I'll ask them one at a time. And they're very quick, just quick, short answers. Would you rather run cups or play adventure?
Run cups.
Okay. Would you rather program a bot or play HCR2?
Program a bot.
Would
It's
you
more
rather read a book?
challenging.
Would you rather read a book or watch the same movie from the book?
Watch the movie.
Watch the movie, okay. And then finally, this is the crux. He's building up to this. Would you rather play with the new Chaos or with AUSNZ?
Okay, since I already played a while for TNO, I would say play with you guys.
He did.
Good answer.
He did
Good
mention.
answer.
He did mention that there was no wrong answer.
Okay.
You missed a question there, Eva.
No, I did, and I'm okay with that. We've gotten past that.
No, the suntan on a beach or tour on a museum.
Well, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Shall I reply to that or what?
Why not? Go on.
Go for it.
Okay, depends on the museum, I guess. But yeah, if it's something that interests me, then I would say go to the museum. Else, just on the beach, lay down on the beach, and tan, I guess.
Yeah.
Very good. Pete or Murray?
Murray, go first.
No, I haven't got any more. I haven't got any questions at the moment. You go.
All right. I've got one of my own questions, and the first part's already been answered, so I'll go with the second part. How many YouTube subscribers do you currently have?
About 300 at the moment. It's like 309, I think, something like that.
Well, that's pretty
Well,
good.
I don't think so. The channel is more than a year old, but I stopped posting videos for several months, and then I started. I don't remember when.
Well, I've
Again.
watched a few of your videos, and they're quite good. They're very well put together.
Thank you.
Yep.
I am out of ideas. I don't know what else to.
This podcast is a subscriber to your channel, so
Yeah, I saw. Thank you for that.
Yeah, just on the whole YouTube thing, yeah, like it's 300 subscribers these days. Yeah, it's not that much compared to some of the other big fish in the sea, is it? I mean, you got Vereshak coming up to, I think he's got 1 million subscribers, but he's not. I think he's just short of 1 million.
He's also got 1 million other Vershaks playing out there.
Well, that's true as well. You
Yes.
got
A lot of
IO,
copycats.
who's I'm not sure, he's around about 800,000 or something as well. Bacopa's got a few as well. So I mean, yeah, I mean, see the big boys, they have their subscribers, don't they? It's hard to get new subscribers to join your channel and stuff. I actually thought the podcast would get a few, but we've only got a couple of hundred ourselves. Actually, we don't even have 200. I think we've only got about 150.
Yeah, and there's another 150 or so on Spotify as well. So,
But is that the same 150 that have subscribed to the YouTube though? That's the thing as well.
no, it's separate. It's very separate.
Yeah.
Because it's looking at people who have listened to the entire episode on Spotify. So if they're listening to the entire episode on Spotify, they're not doing it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
And then the other thing with the data and the stats behind Spotify is you can also see where the listeners are. So you can see what areas and what countries and all that sort of stuff. So it's very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Maury, there's questions in the question channel if you want to read any from any of the listeners,
yeah,
if you want, mate. Have a look. In the meantime, I've got one from. Let's have a look here. Let's go for Mad Max, who's a popular figure in the server, loves his emojis. Old Mad Max. Mad Max says, "Who's the person that you've known the longest in the game?"
I guess that would be a couple of friends from my old Greek team that I still am in contact with.
So you are in contact with them? They still play?
Oh, yeah, they play. I can name some.
Absolutely, you can. Yep, definitely go and shout out.
Yeah. So there is Zero, Coroner, Nitro Mike, Just Me, Phantomas, Dalton, and Aquarius. Those are some Greek friends from the team that we still talk.
Do they play in CC Division or Division 1, or where are they?
I think they all play for CC and Division 1 now.
Okay.
Very good.
And is Greek Riders still around? They were a top Greek team for a while, weren't they, Greek Riders?
They are not around with the same name anymore, no. They did a couple of mergers, and then the teams fall apart, and then they split to several other teams. If they still play, I don't know.
Yeah, that's if they still play. Yeah, exactly. There has been, like, I mean, the Greek HCRT community is a very strong community. There's some really good players that still play the game. I'm just still trying to think of the top team. What the top team was?
Now it is Odyssey.
It's no, not the top. The top Greek team a while back. Who were they again?
It was Greek Riders, if I recall correctly.
Greek Riders, yeah,
Greek Riders, and then under that was Argo.
Yeah, okay. Eva and Murray, do those teams ring a bell?
Yeah, both of them do. Greek Riders was up there. They were in the top 10 for quite a while.
Yep.
Or at least
they were at the very top, I mean.
Yeah.
Very good. Maury, you're up, mate.
There's one from DA Ham. Shout out to DA. DR, sorry. You've already answered this. What was the reason you made the Soulis bot? The second part to the question, which was it to get into pit crew? And I mean, I guess for me, further than that, did you actually know about pit crew when you did the bot?
Yes, exactly. No, I didn't know the pit crew, actually, before I made the bot. I was not aware of it at all. And after I saw what pit crew is, I only thought that only the top players get to be members of the pit crew. So to answer the question, no, I didn't make the bot to become pit crew.
Yeah, like for me personally, I didn't expect to get into pit crew from making a bot, considering that everyone else was doing stuff that was like, it felt more directly related to the game, like they were doing stuff in the game or for the game. And so for me, it didn't feel the same. So it was pretty cool though.
Exactly. Yeah, same here.
How was it from you when you got the message from Reese?
I thought it was a joke. I don't know. It was quite a surprise, and it didn't feel real, at first, and it still doesn't. I got nominated, so I can't judge.
Yeah, like me, don't worry, they'll figure out that we're frauds and they'll kick us. It's pretty cool. It was pretty humbling to get that message from Reese.
I think you became pit crew just before me, right?
Yeah, it was just before you. Me. Well, actually, I got the message from Reese about a month or so before I was actually made pit crew, because he couldn't do it at the time because we were also in the middle of the GP, and so he said he had to hold off, so he had to wait. And then it was like, can I say it to anyone? And he's like, no, we'll do the announcement. I was waiting. And then I said, oh, so is there anyone else that's being made pit crew at the same time? And he said, he messaged me and said, no, there's not someone right now, but there is someone about to happen. And so that was you, which was really cool. I was really happy to see that because I knew all the work that you did.
It was similar for me. I got the message while I was developing the bot for FS, Cyberbill. And same here. We had to wait a bit for legal reasons or something.
Yeah.
I don't recall exactly. But I remember I asked Reese about the pit crew. I just wanted to know what it is exactly. What your obligations are as a member are, and so on. And he just replied to me that if you, how did he say? If you have to ask, then you won't become a member or something like this.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, But it was a good surprise, the best actually.
I bet it would be.
Like Maury is the only Australian current pit crew member. You're the only
42 points is.
42, yeah, but he's semi-retired now. He's kind of, I don't know if he's.
He's still a pit crew.
He's still pit crew.
Still a pit crew.
But I haven't heard.
Doesn't matter whether he plays the game or not. Still is.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, true. No, I forgot about. I don't even know if 42 listens to the show, but sorry, 42. Forgot you there. Do you the only Greek current pit crew member, Soulis?
Yes.
Oh, that's something to be proud of. Yeah, very good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Pete and Alpha. I'm not too sure who's next. I can't remember.
I have a question from Goose. If you can improve the game, how would you do it?
Well, that's a difficult question, actually. I think the main problem now that the community, the players are facing are the offline issues. Okay, I don't know how to fix that, but I made some suggestions from time to time in the FS server, but none of them are actually implemented yet. Actually, I think I have a list somewhere. Let me check some suggestions I made.
They have the offline issues currently at the moment. They've also got some rewards issues as well. Few players in the community are collecting rewards after a team event. So
I think they fixed most of them.
they fixed those. Okay, I think Fingersoft have got their hands full at the moment. There is a few things going wrong at the moment, so it's they might have to upgrade their servers as well. I mean, maybe they're just the servers can't take the heat anymore.
So I found some suggestions I made. So firstly, I said they could implement an easy way to transfer leadership, because now you have to demote all the co-leaders and then leave the team and join again, and it's very time consuming.
And you can't do it mid-team event because you can't score anymore once you've left and joined again.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good suggestion.
And with the auto matchmaking, it's almost impossible to do it if you play in CC.
Exactly.
You can only do it at the end of the month. Another thing, co-leader permissions. Like choose what a co-leader can do inside the game, like matching or kicking players.
Oh, I like that.
That would also be something good to see.
A leader can only do matchmaking but can't kick players.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Because some players,
Give it a bit more granularity, like Discord.
yeah, some players have a bit of a temper, and maybe they are prone to kick other players. Another thing I want to see is the account age. Like you asked me, how long do I play? Actually, I don't know how long I play.
Yes, I've asked for that as well. That was one of my suggestions on the Fingersoft server. Have an account age on your license.
Exactly.
But not necessarily have in years and months, maybe. I don't know. Like
yes.
Years and months.
Or even a
Years and
date of
months.
issue.
Even better.
Date of issue, as in like a birth date of the account.
Exactly.
The date creation.
Yeah.
Yes. And this way you...
I was going to say that's really mandatory for the driver's license. The driver's license, you have to have the date of birth on there.
Exactly. So that makes sense.
I can't remember who was discussing this before, but I think it was Goose in our server, in the AUSNZ server. We were talking about something similar, and he was saying that the account age could possibly be, I don't know, a privacy issue, like something to do with privacy issue, knowing how old someone's, not necessarily how old the person is, but I'm talking about the account itself. I can't remember what exactly Goose was saying, but yeah, it was saying something to do with privacy issues. So maybe that's why they haven't done it, because there's some sort of legal aspect that they're unable to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, because Fingersoft is very careful with privacy issues,
They are very, very careful.
But the account age could also prevent, or you could recognize hacked accounts.
Correct.
So if the account is like 1 month old and has 5k GP, then it is hacked. Or someone paid a lot of money, to create the account.
To tell the difference between D-ranking and hacks.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yep. I mean, most D-ranking players have a best score, and if that best score is, pretty good. I mean, Murray used to be a D-ranker. I don't think you do it anymore, Murray, but
I haven't bothered.
I don't know why players still do it these days. I think before it might have done something, but these days I don't think D-ranking is, doesn't serve any purpose in the game, to be honest.
Wasn't it Zeke that proved that D-ranking didn't serve a purpose?
Yeah, I think Zeke did do something with it. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Back then, the theory was that the lower your legendary rank, the lower your team's combined legendary rank, the easier the opponent would be.
That was a myth, and I don't think that was confirmed, and I don't think Fingersoft came out and said that was the case, but people assumed it for sure. Yeah, that's correct. But I think Ziki did prove it. That was just a myth. Yeah, it looks a couple of good suggestions there, Soulis. A couple of them that I definitely agree with. I've got one more question from myself that I've just made up on the spot. If you were to introduce a new vehicle to the game, what would be your choice of vehicle?
Oh, that's a tough one. This is something I ask myself many times, but I don't have. I can't reply to that. I don't have an answer.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, see, I don't know, to be honest, what the next vehicle would be as well.
I would have a hovercraft.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
hovercraft, but if you see HCR1, they have many vehicles.
Yeah, the hovercraft was terrible.
And the
HCR
was it?
hovercraft, if you max it, it's not so bad.
I reckon it'd be a good replacement for the snowmobile on the water tracks because you can hover on land and on water.
I think it's too big of a vehicle. It's huge.
Yeah, look,
It's an HCR1.
HCR1 have a lot of vehicles, and I think HCR1 has a lot of vehicles that really shouldn't be there. I think they've gone overboard with it, but I think
I think it's more fun. Like it's just
it is.
it's a fun factor.
It is, but I mean, there's some vehicles there. I just think like, oh, really? Like that's
The kiddie train was terrible.
yeah. Vehicles like that definitely shouldn't come into HCR2. I don't know what would be the next vehicle. It's I suppose do they get their idea from HCR1 like they did with the lowrider, or do they go completely different and get something completely brand new that hasn't been HCR1? Yeah, I don't know what direction they're going to go in.
I don't know either.
I suppose whatever direction they do decide to go in will will be either a hit and miss like it always is with a new vehicle. People will come on and go, "Oh no, this is shit. This is rubbish. What a crappy vehicle." And then about a couple of weeks later, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's actually not too bad. It's pretty good. Oh, I don't mind it."
My opinion on the lowrider, like, a lot of people hated it, but I thought it was like quite fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact: I still have a standing unofficial world record with it. That's been for a couple of.
Yeah, don't tell them what it is, Alpha, because then people are going to try and beat it.
No, I want them to try and beat it.
Pete, I think you're next.
Yep, I've got one from Tessa Cat. She says, "Hi Soulis, my favourite Greek dishes are moussaka and swordfish souvlaki. What are yours?"
You stole that one from Eva. He was dying to ask that question, Pete.
Sorry.
Good work.
Sorry.
Okay, my favorite food, I think it's pasticcio. It's called. It's something similar to moussaka. It has the bechamel sauce on top, but it has thick pasta and ground meat underneath. It's actually pretty good.
Hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but galactabolico, is that a thing?
How? What?
Galactabolico.
Galactobureko. Yeah, it's a sweet. It's a sweet, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I could eat that all day.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Well, I have a Greek friend in Adelaide whose mother asked me for vine leaves from a vineyard that I was working on, and she ended up making about 1,000 dolmade.
Dolmades, yeah.
Yeah, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing.
Stuffed wine leaves,
yeah,
with rice.
Yep, it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But she only makes them when her brother, when his brother comes from the US to stay in Adelaide. So apparently he was back in Adelaide for a week about a month ago, but I missed out on getting some more.
They are pretty easy to make, actually. You can do it yourself at home if you want.
Oh no, that's all right. I'll go and buy them.
Yeah, you can.
It's never the same. It's never the same if you make it yourself.
No.
Even with coffee, if you make a coffee, it's nowhere near as good if someone else makes it.
We have a very big Greek community here in Australia, Soulis. We have a massive community in Melbourne. I think Melbourne would be the home of the Greek community there, and Sydney has a very big Greek community as well. So a lot of Euros shops around, and a lot of Greek food everywhere. So it's a Australia has a lot of Greek population.
Yeah, I am aware of that.
Same with Ottawa.
There's a suburb in Melbourne called Oakley, which is basically wholly and solely Greek restaurants. And there's probably 10 or 12 in a row on one street. And it is amazing. And they're always full. All of them are always full.
Yep, that's the same with Sydney with Brightonley Sands. Brightonley Sands is right on the bay, and then they have a lot of Greek restaurants there as well.
The one thing about the Greek community in Australia, and I was always in awe of this because my background's Italian. I was first generation Australian, born here, and I speak Italian and I studied it at school. But most people my age who are first generation Italian don't speak Italian as fluently as I do. But if you find a Greek person that is my age, so in their 40s to 50s, they speak Greek because they were taught Greek after they went to normal school Monday to Friday. They would go to Greek school to learn Greek, and the community was held together because everybody spoke it. It was it's just one of those things that the Greek community in Australia was held together by a whole series of amazing opportunities and people. And I think because of that, the culture has stayed stronger for longer in Australia.
This also applies to Germany, the same. I mean, when I said that I went to school in Germany, I went to Greek school, only Greek school.
Yep.
Not German school. I didn't go to a German school,
Yep.
There are several Greek schools all over the world.
Yep.
And that's amazing. Strange, but amazing at the same time.
Well, I think it's great for the culture because, like I said, Italian people my age, they might have 5 or 6 words in their vocabulary. With that, they've lost the ability to talk to the older generation. They've lost, a whole lot of things. With Italian, the Italian language, a lot of Italian in the 60s was dialect and slang, and now most Italians only speak the unified Italian. So all of the history books that were written in slang now or dialect now can't be read because they're not in Italian. So a lot of that history and all of that sort of stuff is lost, which hasn't been lost in the Greek community, which is amazing.
Guys, do we have any more questions? Because I really want to get onto the questionnaire. But go for
I've
it,
got
Murray.
I've got one more question. Well, one question. Obviously, with you mentioned you're married with 2 kids. What do they actually all think of this? The HCR2 and the bot and the pit crew and even the podcast. What are they thinking of all of this?
Okay, my kids are too young to have an opinion about this. But my older son actually likes all the paints and the skins. We sit together sometime and he just browses the different skins and says, I like this. Okay, put this on. He has no idea about the bot, obviously.
Yeah.
And my wife, okay, she's proud of the bot and the pit crew, of course, and the recognition from the community and all the different swags from Thingisoft. Yeah, that's it.
I've got one more question. Before we do our questionnaire, I've got one more question from RF Racing. Shout out to RF, popular member of the community. What is the meaning behind your name? What drew you and your role to Wicked? So you're in Wicked, so not Wicked. Sorry, you're in Wicked.
Yeah, my main account is now in. I think it's called I pronounce it wicked also. I don't know how it is pronounced.
Wicked or Wicked? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your main account's in Wicked.
Yeah, I had my alt account and then I switched because I needed max parts. Because we play in CC. It's difficult to stay there. The leader approached me and he asked if I want to join the team. He said that he sees some potential in me and he knows I'm a busy guy and he said if I had a bit more time and with the different tips they provide, because most of the players in the team are time attack players and they have very good tips there and that I could become a bit better. And I saw that as an opportunity.
There's some really good players in that team, that's for sure. They're really good time attack players. A lot of RS players, a lot of clan players in that team.
Yeah, mostly I think SB players are there from the clan.
Yeah. And what's the meaning behind your name? So where did you get Soulis from?
Okay, so it's, my first name is Anastasios, and short of that is Tassos, and short of that you can say it's Soulis. So it's like say James, Jim, then I don't know, Jimbo, or something like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a short to your name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very good. Very good.
So like a nickname.
Yeah, it's like a nickname, yeah. Most of my old friends called me this for years. So I thought I stick with that in the game.
Excellent.
Very good.
We're going to give the Never Have I Ever questionnaire a crack who JR created for us, and we first had it on with the Chaos guys, and we'd like to get you to have a crack at it too. If you want to get it up on your screen, Soulis, if you click on the pins in the questionnaire channel, click on pins, and you'll you'll see it there. So
I found it.
Yeah, let's so 1 point for each. Let's start off with we'll work our way from the top to the bottom. So 1 point for each. Now the aim is to not have too many points. I think the less points is better. Is that right, Pete?
That's the one.
Yep.
That's right.
All right, great. Let's start. So, have you missed a team event?
Yes. So who is counting?
I am.
Oh, not a great start there.
Not a whole team. You mean a whole team event, like a week or a match? Because I think
a match.
Team event is a match.
I would say a match.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Even recently, I forgot to play. I thought I played one ticket, but I didn't. But I joined. The match, but I didn't play.
Now I'll upload this photo onto the YouTube part of the podcast so other listeners can see it. So, hated a public event?
Yes, of course, many, not only one.
Very good. Another point there. Picked an easier map for the boss level.
Always.
Yep. I have to admit that I do that too. Have you scrapped a legendary part before using excess?
What do you mean by before excess?
So when you did
without it being a scrap.
Yes, that's correct.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Used up all your special tickets on a single run.
I think yes.
Have you had a perfect
well.
Have you had a perfect 40k score?
No.
Okay.
Not even in a 5-track.
Okay.
Match.
Very good.
Kidding. Okay, but no, I haven't. 40K,
Okay.
no, not yet.
Fallen asleep while grinding an adventure map.
I think I have fallen while playing Caps. Don't know if that's the
Well,
same.
Technically, that's not the question, so I think that's a pass.
That's a pass.
So that's a no.
pass. Yeah, we'll give a no for that. Took a long break from playing HCR2. So have you ever taken?
Wait. What was the question before? Because you said that wasn't the question. What was the
Have you
question?
fallen asleep? Have you fallen asleep during an adventure run?
Okay, so I think this is a no. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a no. Have you taken a long break from playing HCR2?
No.
Okay. Have you ever rage quit at some point? And in other words, have you ever gotten so angry that you've just thrown the phone, or you just quit the game?
No, I don't think so. No.
Ooh, okay.
I got mad, yeah, but I didn't quit the game. No.
Okay. No, not quit as you like quit forever. Quit so you just shut the game
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
And
I know. No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Kicked a team member by accident.
Not sure. Maybe. I'm not sure of that. If I did, it was a long time ago.
No, that one will be a no
I think
then.
that's a yes. I think that's
No,
a
I'm
yes
going
because
a
it's a
no.
maybe.
No,
No?
I'm going a no.
Yeah, I'd have to say no
Okay.
as well. We'll go no with that one.
'Cause you
Okay.
remember, if you kick someone by accident, you typically remember doing something like that.
Yeah, I think you would remember. Have you ever banned anybody for being stupid or silly from the team server or on another server?
Yes, of course.
Okay, yep. Well, I mean, I think Cyber Bill has kicked a fair few people, so we
Yeah.
can include Cyber Bill. I mean,
Do we add extras for Cyber Bill?
Oh, we've got to add like at least a few thousand. Yeah, that's very true. And the final question is: done a face reveal on any Discord server? Well, we've said hello to you. We know
Yeah, but
you,
that doesn't count.
but that doesn't count. So, have you had any
Yes.
face reveals?
Yes, I did. My profile picture is also my real face.
Oh, of course.
But besides that, yes, I posted some pictures on the server.
Okay.
On several servers, yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. Let's reveal the score. How did we do?
I have a score of 6, which
Same.
Oh,
puts you
this is better than I thought.
it puts you in line with
Jordan.
from Chaos. Yeah, Jordan scored 6, so you're on par with Jordan. So you win
Nice.
absolutely nothing.
But you get to gloat a little bit to the Chaos guys, yeah. You can gloat a little bit.
Better than I thought.
As good as Jordan. There you go.
Very good, very good. Soulis, before we start wrapping up, mate, is there anybody you would love to make a shout out to? Players in the community, personal people that you know, and so forth?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Of course, greetings to my family, of course. I don't know if they will listen to this podcast.
You can put it on in the car radio when you guys go for a drive next.
Okay, I can do that. Good idea. Shout out to all the pit crew members, to the mods in the FS server, to Reese and to SJ, to all my team players in Wicked, Misfit Asylum, and of course AUSNZ, and to all my fans, if I have any out there. I know I have
You
some.
have at least 300. At least 300.
And to all the Greek players out there in the HR2 community.
Very good. A good shout out.
Beautiful, mate. Okay. Look. Yeah, before we go, is there any final words you want to say, Soulis, before we wrap things up?
It was fun listening to you guys and chatting with you. Thanks for having me again.
No problem.
And thank you for having me in your team with my small account.
No, you're most welcome. We are loving having you in the team. Just want to say thanks for sharing some of your team's strategic with us. You're helping out some of the young guys in the team as well. Not just that, but when you comment on our team event channels, you're actually helping the lower GP players as well. So
Some of the higher GP players too.
absolutely. No, look, thank you so much for your contribution. You're very well liked within the AUSNZ community, and we hope to have you for as long as we can.
Yeah, for sure. I'm here to stay.
Beautiful. That's excellent. All right, mate. Look, thank you very much for joining us. We'll say good luck with everything. It was a pleasure to have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks very much for your time, mate. I really appreciate it. It's been great to catch up.
It was a pleasure for me too, guys.
Maury?
Yeah, it was great to have you on. It was really good to chat to you.
Same here.
Okay, Pete, should we do the reveal now, and then we'll go from there?
We should do the reveal right now, I say.
All right,
so our next guest is someone who most people know in the AUSNZ server, because this person, she puts a lot in the 18 plus channel.
Hang on, did you
Let's
just say
it that way.
Did you just say she? Did you just say she?
I said she.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I haven't actually asked yet, but I'm sure she will be more than willing to join the podcast, and that person is Jack Rappert.
JR.
Yeah, our very own JR.
She's listening to this right now thinking, oh my god, what is going on?
Yep.
She's gonna die when she hears this.
So she's gonna have to answer her own questionnaire. It's gonna be a good one.
That is gonna be a cracking episode. We can't wait to listen to JR and hear all about her and her HCR2 journey.
Absolutely.
Look forward to that.
Okay, thanks guys for another great episode. Thank you. Thanks guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks.